All right, well, good morning. Pleasure to be here with you today. Talk a little bit about what John Deere's doing in this space and with our precision ag technology. It's always a blessing to be here in California. I live here in the San Joaquin Valley. I've been with Deere about 30 some odd years. And that transition from when I started back in 1996, when we weren't even thinking about autonomy, weren't even thinking about automation, to where we are today is just an amazing journey. And that journey that we've been on has been really exciting. And if you think of John Deere Company, nearly 200 years that we've been working with growers globally, bringing ag tech solutions, the technology appropriate for the time, trying to solve problems. There's something noble about what we do in feeding, clothing, and sheltering the world. And that's what we're here to talk about, this journey that we're on, specifically over the last 20 years with ag tech and precision ag technology. And there's times when you sit back and you reflect on your journey in a career and you say, man, I can't believe I was a part of that. Game changer in the industry, game changer for the business, et cetera. And one of those times is recently in my career is Gus Automation. And if you're not familiar with Gus Automation, just look over that way and you see the silver stainless steel autonomous air blast sprayer. I got the opportunity and afforded that opportunity to go work with that company as we integrated as a joint venture and then made the recent full acquisition. Right, it's things like that, doing autonomous air blast spraying, upgrading jobs, maximizing most of efficiency and productivity, that's what we do at the core essence of it. So when we think about, and when you think about precision ag technology, do you think of the technology itself? You know, whether it's sensor fusion, stereo cameras, LiDARs, GPS, et cetera, or do you think of the companies doing it? Do you think of like a Verdant or a Carbon Robotics, a John Deere, for instance? Or do you think of the benefits being solved and afforded to those growers? You know, things like affordability, cost reduction, profit maximization, quality control, et cetera. You know, when we think and we sit back and we think as we go into this space and we talk about high value crops, it's all about growers. It's growers first, always growers first. How can you solve problems and have real impact with delivering real solutions to them today and lay that pathway forward for tomorrow? And that's where we're going to talk a little bit about. I already mentioned one company and one solution that we have called Gus. I'll get into that here in a moment. But if we think of See and Spray, did anybody go out and see the See and Spray demonstration we just did? All right, fantastic. So a company named Blue River, that's under the John Deere umbrella, has a See and Spray technology and a large row crop application that we can save growers over 80% of material cost. And if you think about where we're doing that work in the Midwest with corn and with beans, there's a potential pivot into high value crops, fresh veg, et cetera, down the road that you can have real impact. Right, so if on this screen, if you see on the left-hand side, that's a traditional rate controller coverage at 15 gallons per acre. You can see how much application you have of material. The middle graph with See and Spray, with it turned on, you see a lot of gray. That's where you're not spraying at all, right? So you see the color mapping is where you actually sprayed. In this case, due to weed pressure, having the right technology in place over that 120-foot carbon fiber boom with the 36 cameras and the 10 VPUs, you're saving 87% of your material. It's amazing technology. It's something that we're proud of, that we're bringing real solutions to growers. Therefore, as we look to expand that solution globally, it will have a big impact in the market in precision ag. You can even see with John Deere Operations Center, the foundation, right? The digital platform, the foundation of all that we do in terms of decision making. You can see what your weed pressure map is. So as you go through the field, hey, there's where my weeds are, there's where I have to apply more. This is the control that I get. So the 5 stars there, Operations Center. So if you leave here today knowing nothing else or remembering anything else that I spoke about, remember John Deere Operations Center. We have a crew of people over there at our booth booth number 14 and 15, where you can talk about the digital platform. And if you're a startup, you don't have to develop your own digital platform. We have an API, we have an open system that we can help you with, so let's talk. Gus, like I mentioned, super exciting opportunity for me and for our company as we now fully acquired the company. But what does Gus do? Gus delivers an autonomous, supervised solution where one operator can run up to 8 machines. So if you take that job where it's a job that's mundane, it is primarily done overnight, you're driving at 2 miles an hour through an orchard spraying chemical, you take that person out of that environment, you upgrade them into a supervisory role, they run 8 machines, they maximize your productivity, they maximize the repetitive nature of that job to deliver the highest quality crop that you get, whether you're in vines, whether you're in, oops, I went ahead a little bit. All right, whether you're in vines, whether you're in permanent tree nut application, orange groves, etc., that machine now has covered over 600,000 hours of autonomous spray time, nearly 3 million acres being sprayed autonomously, has a fleet of 250 machines out there in the western coast of the US, California, Oregon, Washington, and in Australia. So we think about SmartApply, another company that John Deere has in our portfolio. And that company does precision chemical application, saving growers again, money, time, cost, maximizing the application of the product via a LiDAR-based solution that maximizes the accuracy of the product that's being applied through sensing the density of the foliage, whether it's in vines, whether it's in orchards, etc. Hundreds of those units that are running out there around and about as well, and maximizing and protecting and nurturing that crop. So we'll wrap up here. We have a special invite-only session tomorrow, and that is at 8 a.m., so an hour before the session opens. If you haven't registered for that, please do so. We'll have this special John Deere wristband for you to go ahead and get into the site, and we will be showcasing, first time ever publicly, a demonstration with our 5ML utility tractor with a precision upgrade kit on it to run autonomously in an orchard environment. So if we take a look at everything that we have on this journey that we're on, whether it's Gus, whether it's SmartApply, whether it's See and Spray, now orchard autonomy, we're bringing real precision ag tech with real impact and real solutions to you as growers so that you can sustain your operation and recover from all of the regulatory pressure, the labor issues that we have, the cost of labor, just finding people to do that work. And that's, again, what we're trying to do on this 200-year journey that we've been on, is bringing those solutions to growers today, whether it's high-value crops here in California, whether it's high-value crops in Spain or Portugal or even down into Brazil. We're working to bring that to the global business. And with that, I'll go ahead and turn it over to the next group. I believe that are ready to come up on stage.
Well, actually, they're not quite ready yet because you still have about 8 minutes.
Oh, we're good.
Well, do you want to do a Q&A?
Yeah, I'd love a Q&A.
Okay.
Absolutely.
If you want to do Q&A, you'll have to put some headphones on so you can hear
I
them.
can do that.
Anybody have any questions? I made a big deal about the Q&A and now nobody wants to ask a question. Any questions for Sean? Yes, okay, here.
I'm curious on why the different solutions that you have that Deere is offering.
It's a great question. Why are we... It's interesting hearing myself in my headset.
Right,
yeah. Why the different solutions? So I think that when we look at the needs across the spectrum of the market, whether it's nurture and protect the crops, whether it's bringing automation, whether it's bringing autonomy, it's better to have a portfolio that meets the needs of a variety of different growers. So it doesn't have to say with Gus, where you're targeting large-scale growers that have a lot of ground to cover versus a autonomous tractor with multifunction capability, maybe meant more for a mid-sized grower. You want to be able to cover the market in that dynamic so that everybody has the opportunity to engage and be able to get the job done in the way they want to get it done.
Anybody else have a question? Okay.
Hello, Trisha from the state of California. Wanted to know what is in the future for John Deere? What technologies are coming up that we should be on the lookout for?
All right, that's a great question, Trisha. So we just now have Gus. We have Smart Apply. We are announcing and have revealed to the world at CES back in January the autonomous utility tractor. So we're really pushing heavy into that space to alleviate the pressures that come with labor. And we're focused on the nurture and protect side of that. So with the typical spray job, we have bought a company that does sensing and from the imaging standpoint. So we're looking at how do you do yield estimation, how do you forecast or figure out whether it's via drone or making passes through the field to understand the disease pressure that you may have or not. So we're looking at how to use those sensors to make predictive decision making even better and easier for growers. Does that help? Okay.
Cool. Okay, any other questions for Sean?
We have one up
Where?
here.
Oh, up here? Oh, I'm sorry.
Hi.
Hello.
I was curious, since you have so many systems and you're going after large farms, I assume, are there any coordination happening between these different machines? Is there a way for them to know what they've done? And is this information being shared across in the cloud or somewhere where the growers can see what's happened and how it compares with the previous year and those kinds of things?
That's a great question as well. The foundation of it all starts with John Deere Operations Center and the digital platform that we have so that you can, as a grower, have access to what your jobs are and what work is being done via the certain vehicle, whether it's a tractor, a sprayer, et cetera, that's doing that work. So you can watch and make sure that that work's being done to the task that you have set with the right configuration. So then I think your question is, hey, if you have multiple machine forms doing the job, how do they coordinate? I think one great way, an example of that is with Gus Automation with running 8 machines at once. They all know where each machine is at. They know what route that they're on and the work that they're doing so that you don't have repetitive work being done or any possibility of missing a row or spraying twice in one place. But ideally, as you go forward, whether it's a tractor doing that work, whether it's a Gus doing that work, whether it has Smart Apply on it or not, they all know, and that information is fed up to the cloud, back to you as a grower so that you can see it and make real-time decisions.
Okay. One more question we have time for if you got it. Was it? Okay.
Thanks for your speech. I have a question around the maintainability of these tractors as you expand on more and more autonomous capabilities. Mm-hmm. How do you manage, if there's something that breaks down, do you have a fallback option to ensure that the yield for that day doesn't go down? And how do you keep these machines up and running, especially if you have more and more complex software running on these systems?
That's a great question. And you're right. As machines become more complex, you add electronics, you add sensors. How are you going to maintain that to make sure that, because in this space in particular in high value crops, it is all about covering your acreage and covering it fast, right? You got to get the disease pressure under control and make sure that you don't impact your yield. The dealer channel, the John Deere dealer channel is second to none, and that capability that they provide, they sell the product to the grower, and they have that relationship. They have the service capability and capacity to be able to take care of that product. All goes back then to the John Deere training network, where we do a tremendous amount of training, whether digitally or on site with the product, to make sure that the dealer technicians can take care of the product that they're selling. We have a process in place that even to earn the right to be able to sell that product, you have to meet certain qualifications and specifications so that that dealer knows that they have the capability to take care of the product. Because you're right, if you don't have the capability to take care of it and service it, then you're going to have issues down the road.
I have a question on the autonomous part. So how do you manage your, not competition, but let's say startups hijacking your tractors for autonomous?
Interesting. So that question, if I understand it correctly, how do I prevent others from accessing our technology to kind of hijack the tractor to be able to work with their system? I wouldn't say that that we're totally. We work with other companies in a partnership. We can always partner together to do work together. I think from the specific question that you're asking, we do have the ability to monitor our vehicles and engage systems appropriately so that if somebody is working in a way that wouldn't be appropriate with our equipment, that we could control it.
Okay, let's thank Sean. Thanks for being here for this Smart Tech pitch.